Let's see who's gonna beat this train. Who's gonna beat her? What is that for one marshal here that films the Queen Eastern Railroad and Kiamichi Railroad on the hot rails? goes the Kiamichi Freddy. Nice to see you, Freddy boy. There they go. They're heading on to Argenta, and they're gonna go home and go on to Hugo. That's exactly where they're going, and they're gonna meet up with Cosman and the other boys. That's gonna work the train on to from Ashdown all the way to Hope, Arkansas, and then they're gonna run the train back this way, and then Cosman and the other boys will take the train back on to Argenta for Eddie and Ronnie to take the train back on to Hugo for the Hugo Kiamichi boys for the run that goes Durant to Medill, and then from Valiant to Hugo, and then Hugo to Argenta, almost close to Ashdown, about a couple of miles out. It's not that far out of Foreman, but it's really hot to rail fan in the daytime, so I have to get up early in the morning to catch them. So like I said, if you like this video, everyone, like, share, comment, subscribe. I had a lot of things that has came up. My mom got sick very badly, so I couldn't even do any rail fanning at all when I was down there in Galveston and Texas City, Lamar area, and Houston area, and there's a lot of Union Pacific railroads, and I was foaming out of my bits when I was down there because I seen a couple of trains that I could have been down there to see, but I was down there helping my mom. My mom was in the hospital. She got sick. We got down there. My mom almost got cardiac arrest in Houston traffic, of all things. Just down there. I mean, it's a good thing. It's a good thing my dad didn't stop, and we called it in and stuff like that. They gave my dad where to go, and League City was a very good hospital. They took care of my mom. My mom came this close of not being here right now, but when she was in the hospital, me and my dad had to rotate, stuff like that. And I am a mama's boy, so I could not leave my mom for anything. So I stayed for a couple of nights. My dad stayed for those couple of nights. We've been rotating from every night to every night, and I stayed with her for the whole entire 2 weeks when we was down there, and where my aunt lives, and we've been staying with her for a couple of days until my mom recuperated, where she can have a travel to come back home, and stuff like that, and a lot of stress has got her into that state. She does have a weak heart, so that's the reason why I have not been posting anything or anything like that. Stuff that I have done before and other stuff like that, including gas and stuff. It's been outrageous down there. It's cheaper. My dad had to bring my truck down here, so that way I could take my mom everywhere and stuff like that around Houston and Galveston and around the small town where my aunt lives. And been down there for 2 weeks. I'm glad I'm back up here. A lot of my friends probably on the Kiamichi probably want to know how come I wasn't out here a bunch of times or anything at all. It's because that I was looking after my mom, and my mom has a weak heart, and my mom, on my mom's side of the family, they do have heart issue problems. So my mom has heart problems. So does everyone on my mom's side has heart problems. And so now, and exactly that she's my mom, so there's a chance that I might have heart problems in the future, and hopefully later on I might have someone else to take when I'm not out here a lot. Maybe someone else might take my spot out here, and someone that could take my place out here for a bit and rail fan when I'm resting and stuff. So hopefully though, those heart problems will not be around. Those heart problems will be way down the road, probably when I get old and gray. So I ain't worried about it. But the thing is, just keep up with your heart. If you got a family that has heart issues, make sure the stress level's really low and stuff like that. And please love them for all your best, and don't say any harsh words that you don't want to regret and stuff that ever does happen. You don't want any harsh or anything, because you're gonna feel with the guilt, and you don't want to be that way. And then that way is, you don't want to tell the other one this or this because you don't want to fall in the way that you felt. So that's the reasons why. Be careful what you ever say to your mom or your dad or anything like that, or your grandparents, because you would regret that in the future, and you don't want to regret that. So always be nice to them and stuff like that, because they are your family, and they really have gave you life, and they gave your parents life, and then it got to you. So, and you're gonna pass down the other generation lifeblood to the next in line. So, my mom's back to better, but she has to take it easy a little bit. She has to be on a little bit of a diet and other stuff like that. But not enough. We're on the same diet, but it's a good thing my mom is on a diet a little bit. But it's not going to change our diet, because mom don't want us to hurt, just like how she has to. That's not going to happen. No. She has to be healthy just a little bit and other stuff like that. So if any of you young ones that might have grandparents that might have heart problems, or your own mom and dad, please be nice to them, and please be kind to them. Don't say stuff that you don't want to regret. And if you did, just apologize and stuff like that, because stuff can change in a heartbeat. So always remember that. And we got down there. My mom was this close, and I cried my eyeballs out. And everyone in my family, including my friends, they all cried, and it almost broke me in half. So it almost broke my heart in half. And my dad was crying too. I mean, he was way crying. And everyone that I know was just praised. And my mom prayed, and Jehovah helped her out very much, and I appreciate what Jehovah has done for my mom and for us in our family and all the other families. So always pray is a good thing. So pray and be nice, and other stuff like that. And I mean, stuff is not getting no better. It's getting worse. Some people might say what you're saying is not true. It actually is getting better, but to me it's not. But to y'all it could be. But I don't know where the future is going to lead. But I'm still going to be out here rail fanning for you guys. I'm not getting paid for this right now, but maybe later on I might get paid for doing this, especially my gas and stuff like that. I'm not in my truck right now because I don't have the money to put gas in my truck. I'm taking my mom and dad's rides to take the train in. Which technically I should be taking my own truck with my own gas, but I don't have the gas buddy because I don't have a job yet. So I'm out here rail fanning for you guys, and I'm having fun too. And I got other stuff that I got planned in the future for all of y'all, and other stuff like that. I want to get me, my dad got me a gift. A gift, and it's been used, but it's a good camera that I can put right here, and I can make other videos with it besides trains. And so that's what I plan on doing. Other two in the future is doing, maybe make a couple of maybe, because I do like to go fish and other stuff like that. I want to see if I could try to do a fishing video and put it on YouTube. My fishing videos are way different than everybody else's is, and hopefully later on in the future I might have someone else to be with me in the near future, especially a female in mind. When I get married, my producer will be, I'll be right here, my producer will be right there, filming me and stuff like that. on the Kiamichi River and the Big Queen Eastern Railroad. And of course, I got a good friend over here too. He was out make sure everything was okay with his stuff, and he was in his truck and stuff like that. So I'm glad that he's doing well. I think this year he'll be on the ball of cutting up some firewood for his house, and he'll be warm for the winter years. And it's been getting hot. I mean, this weekend it's going to get up in the hundreds, 103 degrees. That's very hot. That's very hot for the Oklahoma. Well, it's been hot like that for quite some time, for decades, but it's not been hot for so long. But exactly, it's been dry for a couple of weeks. We've been getting a little bit of rain, and of course, yesterday we had a thunderstorm that had equivalent of a tornado in it, because the storm was dying, because it was losing its strength and stuff like that. So it made equivalent of a tornado, and it collapsed a lot of trees. It did damage to roofs, siding, and trees there in Broken Bow. And I was there yesterday, and a tree collapsed, everything. A couple of signs broke, landed over there on my brother's bank. My brother, where he works at the bank over there in Broken Bow. And so we was over there getting that cleaned up and everything like that. So that was pretty cool. I never seen a regular thunderstorm to be like that. So that's pretty neat and wicked, seeing a thunderstorm that's dying, but before it was dying, it was giving out a lot. It was giving out a lot of wind, like equivalent of a tornado. I think there was an F1 there in Broken Bow. Someone else might have their own opinion of things on what was going on that day, but I kind of think there was a tornado on the ground for a little bit, and then the storm lost its strength, and then that's when it all calmed down, because the storm fizzled out when I was going through Broken Bow, and it just quit. But it's been pretty dry here. The creeks are kind of drying out. Some spots are drying out. Some spots are going to keep getting water because it's spring fed, and probably sewer treatment plants that the water goes into, because they purify that water before it goes in the creek, so it's going to stay running in some parts. And but upstream it's mostly going to be dry, and snakes are looking for water, especially cottonmouths. Not much for the copperhead. Copperheads are going to go where there's water anyways. But when they know the water hole's drying up, they're going to find other places to go. So cottonmouths are looking for places to go where water is, but when their old water hole dries up, they're going to find a new one. So be careful where you're going. Watch your step, especially around places where banks are, on creek areas. Especially watch where you step, because they're usually curled up in a ball and stuff like that, waiting for prey to come up. Or they're just sitting there like normally, curled up in a ball, just minding their own business. So just remember, just be careful where you step on the creek on the creek bank, and watch where you're going when you're in the center of the creek. Mostly being in the center of the dry creek is the better, because you can see what's on both sides of you. But mostly just keep looking down on your feet, make sure there's not one on the center of the creek there, and stuff like that, because cottonmouths are usually right there where the watering hole, where there's still water is, and eventually when it dries up, they're going to move on to the next spot, and they usually hide in grass area and other stuff like that. And so just be careful when you're out there around creeks and riversides there, because there's cottonmouths there too. And if you're gonna be around them, at least be careful, especially when you're swimming, definitely, because they're around creek banks. They're beside the river banks as well. So be careful of that. And if you're trout tracking in the woods, make sure you watch where you're stepping and stuff like that, especially if you don't got snake boots on. But if you got snake boots on, please put them on for safety reasons, especially if you don't know if the snake's venomous or it is venomous. But especially you need to be careful stuff like that. So just be careful when you're out in the woods, especially in fields, especially forest areas and other places where snakes like to be at. because they hide. Now sometimes they'll want to stay away from humans, because us humans, we can hurt them and we can kill them. So they'll mostly try to avoid areas where there's foot tracks. But sometimes you gotta be careful of that as well. So, because they can be hiding anywhere, so you don't know where they're at, because they're camouflaged to their environment. So, rattlesnakes as well. Rattlesnakes are dangerous as well, same as cottonmouths and other stuff like that. Other species of venomous snakes, including unvenomous snakes, because some of you may not know what an unvenomous snake looks like until you look at it. And in other places, there's some venomous snakes that has round eyes, but here in the United States, an unvenomous snake has round eyes with 2 nostrils, not 4. And the ones with the cat eyes, those are the ones that you need to stay away, not unless you are a snake wrangler or anything like that. So just be careful how you're. Just be careful when you're wrangling a snake and other stuff like that. But I'll commend you not to pick it up, not unless you are a very good snake person that knows how to do snakes and stuff like that, like the ones on YouTube, and also the ones that is on Animal Planet and stuff like that. So, I mean, I advise you just be cautious around snakes, period. But that's a good thing about snakes, though. They keep control of the rat population and the bug population and other stuff like that. And then the unvenomous snakes will have control of the unvenomous snakes, because unvenomous snakes will eat venomous snakes, and it just keeps going like that. So, and also hogs will take care of rattlesnakes and any other snake, and also including the cottonmouths, because they will eat cottonmouths, because that is their favorite food to eat. And pigs don't give up when they eat a prey, so they'll attack it from the behind, or they'll eat it by the front. And it's so. And also the venom is very dangerous. So be careful when you're out in the woods too, because snakes will spray out their venom into your leg or your leg, and you have to rush to the hospital to get anti-venom. And you got to know what type of snake is, so they can give you the anti-venom for it and the dose that it needed. So now in most cases they'll give you a dry bite. A dry bite is basically I bite you, but I'm not gonna waste my venom on you, because I need that for other stuff, not you. Because venomous snakes don't want to use their venom on humans, but they want to use their venom on rodents, small things that they can fit in their mouth. And so it's best to be careful, and also be careful when you're out in swamp areas, stuff like that. There could be gators and stuff like that, so you got to be careful out there, and other things like that. And mostly cottonmouths are mostly dominant in swampy areas as well, in wetland areas as well. So just be careful anywhere, because snakes are everywhere. So be safe out there, because they're all coming out. Snakes mostly come out in the middle part of summer when it's dry, because it's bringing them out, because they don't got no water. When water dries up, it brings them out. And sometimes they'll migrate where there's water or where there's constant water. Sometimes you may not see them because they're out certain times of day, because they get too hot, they go into hiding. And then when it cools off a little bit, they'll come out. But sometimes they'll get some heat. They'll get up in areas where they can get some heat and stuff like that, and then they'll crawl back to get where it's cool. So snakes are pretty cool. So I'm about to end this video, everyone. Share, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching Kiamichi River on the Hot Rails by Marshall Price. So I'll see you later, and see you next time. Be safe out there. And they just came through at 10:45, and right now it's 11:01. So I'll see you later. And right now it's about 87 degrees out here. So I'll see you later. Marshing out. Thanks for watching. I'm here in Hayworth, Oklahoma. Bye now, everyone.